Hello, welcome to another Nana's Nuggets. Today I've decided that I just felt like sharing some family memories that I have of one of my favorite holidays, and that's the upcoming holiday of Thanksgiving. I remember that as a time when I was a child when we expected lots of cousins, aunts, uncles, grandmother to come over, and there would be so many of us crammed in that little tiny house in Lebanon, and it was just always fun, always fun. And then we moved to Sentinel, and that's when the real fun truly began. It was a big place, and we were given permission to have it for the weekend. So my aunts and uncles and all my cousins that wanted to come and that did come got to stay over for a night or 2 nights, so they didn't have to travel back and forth. And that meant a lot more time to play and socialize and just have fun. I remember that we always had turkey and ham, sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, lots of gravy, which is my favorite, stuffing, cranberry sauce, black olives, green olives, pickles, homemade, of course, no store-bought pickles. Oh, just ever so much. Just table laden with food. Green beans, squash, fresh bread and rolls. Anyway, and then of course the desserts were always extra fantastic. But I remember most the fun that I had with all of my cousins and the things that we used to do. A lot of land for us to run around on and explore on, and we'd always go down to the lake, and of course we always came back wet. We weren't supposed to be in the water, but you know how that goes. Um, just a lot of fun games that we played, and the older people sat around playing card games, and we just had so much fun. My favorite part of Thanksgiving, though, were the ghost stories. I loved telling ghost stories, and I was very good at it. So the lodge, for those of you who don't know, was a building, or is a building. It's pretty close to, if not over, 100 years old. So it was built with stairs from the cellar up, more stairs, then another 2 flights of stairs up to what we called the crow's nest. That was a room that had windows around it, and that's usually where my cousins slept. And inside the crow's nest, there was a door into the attic. There were actually 2 doors that led into the attic. Perfect for telling ghost stories. So we would gather up there. Now remember, the ambiance has to be right. You can't tell a ghost story in the middle of the day. It just doesn't work. The ghost story has to be told at night when it's kind of dark and the wind is blowing and the things are creaking and making noise. Now the wonderful thing about the lodge was that when the wind blew, it whistled through the eaves in a moaning sound. So it was like, and to make matters even better, we had doors that would open with the slightest breeze, and then for no reason they'd slam shut. So that just added to everything. And of course, the normal creaking of old boards and the settling of a house, and all of it was wonderful. Now, I don't remember the stories that I used to tell. They were pretty gruesome, though, I think. But I do know that I had my cousins so scared that they would cry in fright and they wouldn't stay upstairs alone, which is kind of horrible, but, par for the course. Of course, it was made better by the fact that there was a door into the attic, so I could pretend that there was somebody who had been chained up inside of there, kept captive, and, they died in there and their ghosts came out to haunt people. And because we lived close to the lake, I would tell stories about people dying in the lake. Or there was a cemetery, there still is a small cemetery on the land which belonged to the farmers who used to live there before Judge Brackett bought the land. So, of course, those are good stories to tell, about the ghosts coming up out of the cemetery. Anyway, Thanksgiving is just one of my favorite family times because it isn't just for the food. It's just the fact that we got together as a family and got to see cousins we hadn't seen forever and share what was going on in their lives and the newness of it. And as we got a little older and they got older, they started bringing their spouses and their children. And then eventually we just all kind of moved away, and that ended. And I'm sad that it did, because I really loved that time of year. It was special. Anyway, I just thought I would share a little bit of my Thanksgiving memories with you, and I hope that you have a wonderful holiday. Bye bye.